Okay, good afternoon. This is a matchup that I really wanted to have on camera because this is what I like to call a heavyweight title fight type of matchup. Here you have the 1996 Detroit Red Wings and the 1967 Chicago Blackhawks. I thought I would do things differently today rather than using my tripod. This is actually my $1 cell phone or smartphone stand. And yeah, I just decided I wanted to do something different, and this is a game that I do want to have captured on camera. So far in the Tournament of Presidents, Detroit playing as if they're very eager to get back into the League of Champions and Presidents. They have a perfect 3-0 record thus far. Chicago somewhat disappointing actually with a record of 1-2, but this game is in Chicago. I've already worked out everything pre-game that I needed to work out, and actually quite simply both teams are rolling, will be rolling on the -1 row for this one. And because, again, visibility is limited with this view, you'll just have to trust that I have all the information right. So they're both rolling on row -1, and then also, too, I have here just out of camera view, actually, the cards to determine who scores the goals. So anyway, this is Detroit and Chicago in Chicago. And First period, 85 for Detroit and 52 for Chicago. I look at row -1. The 85 for Detroit's going to give them 2 goals. And I've decided just to go blue corner, red corner, with blue being on the road here. So Detroit rather, with 2 goals here in period 1. And 52, I believe that will award 1 goal to the Chicago Blackhawks. Yes, it will. So I'm not going to check goal scorers until after the game's over, but after 1 period, it's 2-1 Detroit. Detroit defeated Chicago 5-3 when they played earlier in this round robin. And that was a really good game, though. Through 2 periods, Chicago was definitely in it. I have to recap on Delphi and the penalty box and the shootout for them. And so here's period 2. Period 2, 76-42, so it looks like Chicago's coming back. Again, looking at -1, actually, Chicago needed an 80 or above to score twice, so they only score once here, so they're up to 2 goals after 2 periods, whereas Detroit, looking at their 42 is going to give them 1 more goal, so Detroit, in a 1-1 period there in period 2, Detroit will, retain their lead, their 1-goal lead here going into period 3. And in period 3 with a 77-7, let's see the 77 once again. That's just going to give Chicago the 3rd goal that they need to tie. So actually here, this is going to be a tied hockey game, a 3-3 hockey game between the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks. In case you're curious as to who might have scored the goals, I will roll for time first of all. There were 3 goals scored there in the first period. So for that one, I'm going to go, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, 2-1-3, 2-3, 3, yes. So I'll get 3 times here off the clock, 15:29, 8:08, and 11:07. So first of all at 8:08, and I will do odd even actually here with the die. 5, so Detroit scored first in the game, and at 8:08 scoring for the Detroit Red Wings was player Q. Player Q is Chris Draper. Chris Draper opened up the scoring in this game. And I'm going to look at actually, I guess maybe the bench and the D1 for the assist. R5. You know what? Actually, Fedorov on line 1. So I'll say Draper was out there with Fedorov. I'm going to award Fedorov an assist for that. And the right wing as well. We'll say Draper was in Larionov's place. And so I'll give Fedorov and Kozlov the assist since the L1 D1 came up, which again you can't see, but it did. So anyway, it's going to be Draper once again from Fedorov and Kozlov. I do that for myself as much as anyone for recording purposes later when I enter this information on Delphi. But for the final time, Draper from Fedorov and Kozlov at 8:08 of period 1. And then at 11:07, let's roll and see if it was Detroit going up by a pair. It was Detroit going up by a couple, actually. Player D for the Detroit Red Wings is Keith Primo there on line 3. So instead of L1 D1, I look at L3 D1 Primo. And the center on line 3 is Tim Taylor. And the center on line 3 is Tim Taylor. I will just award the 1 assist goal for that one. In response to a comment actually earlier, I will say in video that I have often in the past used the 3rd flip to get a couple of assists on the goals, but I feel like, again, to try to cut down on time in this video, though of course I could cut down a lot more time if I talked less, but with that being said, I'm just going to flip 2 cards. After determining the line and defensive pair that was on the ice at the time the goal was scored, I'm just going to flip a couple of cards for assists. This being a short tournament, I feel like compared to a season campaign, let's say, it's not quite as important to get statistics. So anyway, Primo from Tim Taylor at 11:07. The first goal, I'm trying to remember now when it was. I'll have to play it back. It was, what was it, 15 something or 16 something? We'll just say later in the first period, Chicago getting their one goal, and that one goal came from player E. Player E is Doug Moens on line one. Line 1 D2 I'm looking at here for the assist R5. That's going to be Ken Warm. And actually, Mikita gets all assists that are scored by line 1 players. So it'll be Moens from Warm and Mikita at about, again, 15-ish, 16-ish minutes into the first period. That's what happens when you get on camera, nerves cut in if you're anything like me, and you forget certain things, certain details that were just, worked out a minute beforehand. But anyway, in the second period, it was Chicago scoring once and then Detroit scoring once. Let's see which of those teams scored first. It was Detroit, actually. So Detroit restoring their 2-goal lead there early, and let's actually get a time for that one. 18 minutes. Let me roll there once more. 19 minutes. Okay. So at 18 minutes exactly, let's see here. Detroit, player D on Detroit. Keith Primo with his second of the contest. Primo, I'm looking at L3D2 this time. Primo from Tim Taylor with his second assist. And Primo is the left wing. So once again, the tandem there of Primo and Taylor putting up a pair there for Detroit. Detroit was up 3-1 at this point. And then Chicago to come back to get to within one again at the 19th minute of the second period. Player I is Ken Warham. And Warham, I'm looking at L1D1, and centerman Stan Mikita, he gets assist in all of them anyway, and Doug Moens. So once again, it's the trio of Warham, Mikita, and Moens contributing there for Chicago. And then in the third period, it was just the lone goal, Chicago, the game time effort there. And it was a 9:36 of period 3, so let's see who tied the game for the Blackhawks. None other than Bobby Hull. Bobby Hull, and I look at L1D1 for the assist. Probably L2D1 then, actually, Hull having played on line 2. Chico Mackey with the first assist. And what did I say there for the defense pair? I think I said D1, right? Yeah, D1, because left defenseman came up. So Chico Mackey and Pierre Palat assisted on Bobby Hull's goal there to tie the game at 9:36 of period 3. Anyway, I do think that I will keep this game. And again, how it got from like 1 minute to 7 minutes is beyond me, but I guess I'll have to play it back and see. But this in particular, for whatever reason, was just a matchup that I was really, I've mentioned this in another video or two, it was one that I was just really kind of hotly anticipating, let's say. So I thought I'd just give this its own video, the Detroit Red Wings up against the Chicago Blackhawks with shootout easy. Obviously, again, if I just quit talking and got straight to it, I could probably play this entire thing out in 2 or 3 minutes, if that. So it's a very easy and fast-playing game. I think it yields fairly accurate stats. I mean, in terms of goals scored and who scored the goals, I don't think that it's really taking too much away from the accuracy, if anything. So, and I didn't mention in the previous video, but for anyone interested and anyone curious about the Tournament of Presidents and these teams and what they're doing, what they're playing for, I will be back next week with at least 1 or 2 semifinals and or finals games, probably, well, and the final anyway. Between the top 2 teams at that point of the Tournament of Presidents, and the team that wins it goes into the League of Champions and Presidents, which I'm going to do a video on before long, because that's actually technically my longest running project with Shootout Hockey. Anyway, it's definitely more than enough time in a video in a short game like this. 3-3 is your final score here, and yeah, that's about all that I got for the time being. Bye for now.